Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Safari Mack Returns to Africa. I'm Safari Mack, your guide and host, helping you make connections to the wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you what, we are still here in the Democratic Republic of the Congo because unfortunately, I'm lost. I'm really sorry, folks. I am completely turned around. I have no idea where we are. Thankfully, my friend here, the African forest elephant, who's not really happy with me right now, is here to get us out of trouble. Meet, once again, the forest elephant, or their Latin name, Loxodon cyclotis. So if we're ready to continue our trek through the jungle to meet up with our next animal, which will be revealed at the end, then we're going to get started. But before we begin, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button, check out my Facebook page, and if you have a question about animals or an animal request, just send me an email. You'll always find the link down in the description below. But if you're ready, let's get to it. Let's talk about the wild things. So, what can I say that hasn't been said already? Well, these creatures are known as the gardeners of the forest. Oh, wait a minute, what is that? Well, what does that mean? So, gardeners of the forest. If you recall last week when we were going over the diet, I mentioned to you how there are 350 different kinds of food that's ideal for this special creature, right? And now, how those plants have evolved so much to be connected with the elephant that they won't be able to survive. That's because that creature helps disperse their seeds, helping to keep the jungle still healthy and still strong by planting the next generation. Another thing about these magnificent creatures is the females are polyestrous, meaning they can mate many times throughout the year, which is why it seems that they do not have a specifically set mating season, but it's observed that their times of giving birth as well as mating may occur mostly during the months of October all the way through May. Now, a pretty interesting thing that has helped scientists, especially those out in the field, is thanks to thermal imaging. Thanks to this tool, we've been able to identify much more about elephants, how these creatures do not have the greatest night vision, but it also helps them be able to study them in their natural environment with little to almost no interaction of the humans, so that we can see all of their special secrets and see what we can so that we can help protect them. Because protecting them, these creatures certainly do need. Unfortunately, just like all animals in this world, whether they're endangered or not, these creatures have faced major problems. The biggest problem for these magnificent animals is unfortunately poaching. Sadly, it has been. Remember how you see all those tusks kind of going down and being able, that way they can navigate their environment? It's not about the navigating the environment, it's the feel of their own ivory. Unfortunately, poachers have discovered that unlike their cousins out on the African savanna, the forest elephant's tusks are actually a lot more easier to carve trinkets and items or to sell on the market for pretty big prices. And so these creatures have been hunted relentlessly. It is just a major catastrophe, a major disaster for this animal. Another major problem, of course, is the loss of their habitat. Right now, I can't exactly say how much of their habitat they have lost, but it seems that their populations have actually crashed. From 2002 to 2011, it's estimated that 62% of the entire population of this magnificent creature fell. And as a result, 5 years ago, this creature was declared as a critically endangered species by the IUCN. These animals, we need them more than we think. And you know, it really is all thanks to one person that I learned much more about this magnificent creature. A little history about myself. Years ago, when I was still in college, I was going through a bit of a rough time and I was questioning a little bit about what I was doing there and what was I to do next, because I wasn't having the best easy start. But then again, who does? You know, who in this world can say that everything they've gone through in their life was a breeze? Nobody. But enough about that. Anyway, this man is Dr. Ian Redmond. He is he's a major big deal in the world of both forest elephants and gorillas. He was I believe, if I may be wrong, feel free to let me know in the comment section, but this guy actually did a little bit of work with the legendary primatologist Diane Fossey in helping to understand and protect the endangered mountain gorilla. And this man, I remember going to his seminar at my college campus of Florida Gulf Coast University. So there, I admit it, I am a proud graduate of FGCU. At his seminar, I was so moved by his plea and his passion about these magnificent creatures. These animals truly are a symbol of hope, especially in the rainforest, because these creatures, never mind that they're just the gardeners of the rainforest, as in helping to plant the next generation, they're also probably the key to fighting global climate change, as they can help take in more carbon and keep us all safe from a already impending disaster that might be within a couple decades. Hopefully, I hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, by protecting these animals and giving them more space and working with groups such as people, communities, governments, we can really do secure a future for these animals. And there's already many ways that we're helping these creatures right now. Like this elephant here was actually photographed thanks to a special camera trap. Thanks to these little devices, we've been able to count and find many different animals, not just the elephant, but others, gorillas, leopards, wild pigs, okapi, many different animals, so that we can track them and learn how we can protect them better. How else are we protecting them? The dedicated people of ranger teams who every day give their lives to protecting these creatures from extinction. If that doesn't say dedication to you, I don't know what does. But this and animal surveys and working with communities around the area, we can continue our part. Even helping to replant areas. You know, it doesn't have to just be there in Africa. You can help with the elephants' fight against climate change just by planting trees, plant native wildlife. All this, like I said, will help to secure a true bright future for the next 100 years and beyond. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you what, this was a very special episode for me. I have been wanting to do this creature for a long time, and now I feel like I've been able to do that and share their world with you. But now we must leave these creatures behind, and we must get ready to meet up with our next group of animals, which I would like to introduce you to, the chimpanzee. But until then, this is Safari Mack. I'll see you all out there, folks.